Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to make my maiden speech. Although I must admit to a degree of trepidation following the excellent maiden speech of the Honourable Member for Glenrothes of Mid-Fife. It was a compelling, poignant and witty speech, as were so many of those that went before. It's a huge and humbling honour to be elected to represent and serve the people of Wimbledon. A name synonymous with strawberries and cream, grass courts and tennis, but a constituency that includes so much more, extending from Maiden Underground Station in the south, where Madam Deputy Speaker has her constituency office, to Old Maiden in the west, where the pre-Raphaelite masterpiece Ophelia was painted by Sir John Everett Millais on, or more accurately in, the Hogsmill River. A suburb of London, but with 2 farms, a village, a wonderful common, the occasional womble, 3 professional and many amateur theatres, 2 cinemas, the University of the Arts, vibrant small businesses, many in the arts and hospitality, a park designed by Capability Brown, although currently under threat from the All England Club. Please see my early day motion for further details. The beautiful River Wandle, when it's not blighted by that running motif in so many Lib Dem speeches, sewage, and a housing stock that ranges from grand mansions to crumbling social housing. One of the most affluent and well-educated electorates in the country, but with a 38% deprivation rate, despite the best efforts of excellent local charities, including Don's Local Action, the Wimbledon Guild and Faith in Action. Wimbledon is also a diverse and harmonious constituency, boasting one of the largest mosques in Europe, a beautiful Buddhist temple, a reformed synagogue, Europe's first fully consecrated Hindu temple, the papal nuncio, and Christian churches and places of worship of almost every denomination. In addition to hosting the world's premier tennis tournament, we are also home to England's most progressive football club, AFC Wimbledon, a club who knows that fans, not the money men, are the beating heart of any team, and a club that embodies the values at the heart of the government's eagerly awaited and much anticipated football governance bill. Unlike, it pains me to say, my own team, Crystal Palace, who have previously argued against the reforms heralded in the bill, much to my shame, not to mention the shame of my constituents who've just learnt their MP is a Crystal Palace fan. I'm playing a dangerous game here, of course, for, as our defeated opponents now know, and we doubtless will someday, constituents are not slow to show their displeasure. A few weeks ago, I knocked on one door and asked the gentleman who answered if he'd decided to whom he was going to vote. "I like her," he said. "Her? The Conservative?" I replied. "No, her," he responded. "What, the Labour candidate?" "Yeah, I like her. Don't like him much." "Who?" "Him. Don't like him." "What, the Lib Dem?" "Yeah, don't like him." "You mean me?" "Don't like him." "That's me." "Really don't like him." "That's me." "What, you?" "Yes." "Oh, nothing personal, mate." The politics is personal, of course, and not infrequently much too personal. Although my Conservative predecessor, Stephen Hammond, and I stayed the right side of the line most of the time, seeing each other as opponents rather than enemies. And at this point, I must pay tribute to Stephen, who was a hard-working and committed constituency MP, due in no small part to the prodigious efforts of his office manager, his wife Sally, who ran a tight ship and a very efficient operation. And I must say at this point, quite bizarrely, while Stephen and Sally are now tasked with letting staff go and dismantling that very office, I'm kept busy trying to replicate their exact setup. How is that sensible, efficient or cost-effective? Surely it would make more sense for every constituency to have a permanent MP's office staffed by caseworkers who, like in every department of state, move seamlessly along with the ongoing casework from the outgoing to the incoming MP. But it is what it is. As Liberal Wimbledon's first ever Liberal MP, I will, despite such distractions, work tirelessly to represent my constituents and their values. Whilst as an academic lawyer, I will do all I can to defend the rule of law, which is under threat from our badly neglected and now crumbling civil and criminal justice system. Our prisons and probation services in particular are in crisis. May I take this opportunity to congratulate the Prime Minister on the inspired appointment of James Timpson as Prisons Minister. There can be no one better than the Chair of the Prison Reform Trust, who has walked the talk throughout his professional life to lead a national debate on the role of prisons and imprisonment. For we need to explore more effective alternatives to prison, including house arrest and curfews, whilst putting the victim at the heart of the criminal justice system by fully embracing restorative justice, something that I know from personal experience can have a transformative effect on victims, as it did on my family, with the added bonus of dramatically curtailing rates of recidivism. There's much more I'd like to say about the need to restore neighbourhood policing, which, as the Home Secretary said earlier, was decimated under the previous government. And, somewhat more parochially, the urgent need to guarantee the long-term future of Wimbledon Police Station, which 6 years after my judicial review, quashing the Mayor of London's decision to close it, remains under threat, despite the Casey report making clear local police stations are critical to the success of neighbourhood policing. But those discussions will have to wait for another day. In conclusion, Madam Deputy Speaker, may I just say I look forward to working constructively with members on all sides of the House on these and the many other pressing issues that face us, both now and in the years to come. Thank you.